Hey everyone, I am back. I was on StreamYard and got shut down some kind of way, and so I'm just going to come through Facebook. I know that this is a really powerful word, and so I'm just going to come here and share this because it's really important. So I was sharing Who Are You Being? And welcome everyone. It's your girl code Shea. I am the CEO and the founder of the Woman Christian CEO. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time do with all that. And so the topic I wanted to talk to you about was who are you being? Who are you being? And so the other day I was watching a YouTube video, and it was very, very powerful. To me, it was. And it was very, what I was watching was the person was talking about who you be, basically. And I wanted to get a deeper understanding of what that meant. And so I began to ponder about that thought and begin to really think about what does that really actually mean, about who you be, right? And what I come to realize, welcome everybody, and thank you for coming back. Just some technical issues, but I'm gonna keep going. And I was thinking about that topic, who are you being and who you be, right? And what I realized, it is a deeper revelation than just changing your mindset, a more deeper in depth of who we are and how we show up. Because who we are and how we show up and who we are being as an individual, as a person, is what we are attracting to our lives. It's what brings us to people. So the other word the person used was frequency, and another word was vibe, all those kind of things. So when I hear the word frequency, I think of a radio station. So think of a radio station, and when you tune in, and when the frequency of the radio station is tuned into the satellites and where it's supposed to be, the right frequency comes in, the right frequency of what it needs, what the radio station we're trying to get to, we can hear everything clearly. But the moment we start to fade away, I'm using a radio station as an example, the moment we start to really fade away, that frequency starts to run out. So the question I have about us as individuals, as a frequency, in our mouths, we say, I want abundance. I want to live in overflow. I want to be healthy and whole. I want to build thriving, profitable businesses. I want to be six-figure plus. I want to, serve people. I want to help people. But who are we being is the question. Not just in our minds, but as a whole person. Who are we being? So when you show up, are you being positive? Are you being encouraging? Or are you slightly, and I have to really think about this, is there's a slight, we jump on the bandwagon of something negatively. Let's just use the news for an example. If there's so much mess in the world right now, it is unbelievable almost. But it's so easy for us to get drawn into that world and to get caught up. And it's not that we not are ignorant to what's happening, but it's very easy to get drawn into that frequency, and then we begin to produce what's coming from that, because it's about who we are being. And welcome everybody who's here, but I'm gonna keep going because it's really important for me to get out. So it leads me to this. It's when we are in a place of transformation and we are trying to live a life that God has for us, and we want to experience his blessings and his overflow, we have to be very protected and guarded. So when we show up in the world, we are being what we want to attract, right? We are being that person. We are being who we desire to serve. We are being what we want to create. And it's just not the physical things, money, houses, cars, but it's joy, peace, happiness. Who are we being in order to receive that? So of course I have to, be scripturally sound, right? So it took me, and it brought me to the scripture in Philippians. And Philippians talked about, in that scripture where it talked about, we think on things that are lovely. We think on things that are a good report. We talk about, and I'm paraphrasing right now because I don't have it in front of me, but we talk about things that are in confirmation of the word. Who we are being, who are we being, it is embodied in that scripture. So if we living out that word, if we living out that scripture on a consistent and daily basis, then will attract that to our lives, right? We will attract, I'm going to try to find that real quick while we're talking. We will attract it into our lives. So, which means that we won't jump on the bandwagon when things are negative and very volatile and very stressful. Our response would be, okay, how could I, as an individual, be a solution to what is we're dealing with? How can I, as an individual, and yes, it's more than just prayer, but as an individual, how can we be a solution to the things that we are dealing with in the world today? How can we be a support and encouragement versus they're wrong, kill them, get rid of them? How can we be the opposite of that, right? Because who we are being will dictate the path that we will go on, who we are being. So, of course, this is a business community. So, hey, Leanne, so business community, we are desiring, financial stability and gain and overflow and abundance. We are desiring growth and serving our ideal clients. We are desiring to meet and serve amazing people. We are desiring to make the income that we desire to make in our businesses, right? And so when you show up, who are you being? Are you being not just in your mind, but whatever you're thinking in your mind will be produced in how we show up. Okay, I'm gonna give you another example. Just say, because we're in a world where there's a surge of coaches. I'm gonna use that because this is the Woman Christian CEO Life Coaches community, right? So there's a surge of coaching services. There's two ways to respond to that. You can say, why everybody want to be a coach? Everybody ain't being called to be a coach. We can use that language. We can say that. Or we can say, it's so exciting to see the growth of my industry. It's so exciting to see that people are showing up to provide an amazing service and to make sure that you are providing that amazing service. Not focusing on the negative part of it, but focusing on the positive side of it. That is who we are being. We can also say, she charged too much money. Ain't no sense of paying that kind of money. I ain't paying all that because I don't believe in all that. The work of the Lord should be free or whatever. I'm just using it as an example. But what if we say, you know what? I am so excited that people are starting to see the value in investing in their personal growth and development. I'm so excited to see that people are really now moving forward and getting the support and help they need and investing in their businesses so they can get the right tools necessary. It's shifting. It's shifting, right? Not the negative side of everything we see. I'm going to say something even deeper. We know that there is a lot of killing with African Americans with the police. And it is being highlighted more now than ever. And it is wrong and it is evil. So here's a response to that. The response is, I'm going to seek support, help pray, whatever, for those of the men who are serving us, who are protecting us. How can I be a solution to make sure that there's the right training and the right people are in these positions? Because it's so easy to jump on the bandwagon. And the moment you decide this is what I choose to do, that is who you are being. And then the results of who you are being is produced in your life. it is produced. Another thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to go. Remember, the question is who you are being. So another thing is, I lost my thought. Okay, here. Because life has brought so many traumas in our lives. We have trauma from childhood and just all kind of stuff that we didn't dealt with, And we grow up as an adult and we still have those, the results of that trauma that we are dealing with, right? And that circumstances and that trauma, it begins to dictate how we are being, how we show up. Can I share with you what I do? I always in prayer daily, and I pray for God, one, to show me areas that I need to be free, delivered. Show me areas I need to be healed. So I no longer are showing up in this area of trauma, and it no longer dictates how I show up in the world. It no longer dictates and hinders my mindset, my thought of who I am. And that is why you see an evolving journey of the Woman Christian CEO, or how this organization became to be. It's because there's an evolving process of healing, an evolving process of working on myself. And that's why we really talk about the inner work all the time. It is an evolving process of using the tools that I have, biblical, spiritual, personal development, of using the tools to overcome the negative thinking in my mindset so I won't reproduce of how I am being in the world. When we talk about I will no longer hide, I will no longer allow other people to dictate how I should be. I will no longer feel shame about my loud voice. I'll no longer will feel inadequate. I will no longer be that way. That is how we are being, and not just how I'm thinking. So the question I leave with you today. Now, thank you for there's 5 people here. I couldn't stop because I just wanted to get this out. Who you are being, your language, who you are being when you walk in the room. Do you light it up? Or is people in somber and, or are you exciting? Do you present a powerful joy of peace? Are you in your conversation? When you see your sister thriving in business, secretly, are you winning? Are you encouraging her in your heart? You know what? I'm so excited for her. Oh my God, she's doing amazing. He's doing amazing. Wow, I'm so glad I'm on that journey too. Or are we secretly got a little issue that's, right there in your heart? I'm not ashamed of my journey and the evolving process of who I am being and who I am becoming. It's been a journey and I'm still on it. And I am day by day getting closer and closer to who God has chosen me to be. I'm walking in it. You are walking in it. I'm going to leave with this. Now listen to this real clearly about who you are being. It says, finally, my brother, think on things that are true. Whatever things are noble, whatever things are just, whatever things, and I'm going to read this in a different version. Hold real quick. Oh, shoot. I done lost my thing. I was going real good there. Don't go nowhere. Hold on. Hang in here with me. Okay, here we go. Whatever things that are pure, whatever things that are lovely, whatever things are of good report. Do you hear the word good report? If there be any virtue, if there be any praiseworthy, guys, praiseworthy, meditate on these things. Meditate on these things. right? Um, these things which, okay, meditate on these. It ends with that. Meditate on these things. That is who we are being. And when we are use that right there, that what I just quoted, and we are intentionally doing that every day, day in and day out, even in struggle, pain, disappointment, but when we embrace who we are being through the word, can you imagine what you will begin to see produced in your life and who you're can you imagine and produce when you begin to the opportunities that are begin to come your way? Can you imagine if you show up like that every day, every day? Yes, it takes work to show up like that every day because we have a choice. We have a choice to stay in gloom and doom and disappointment. I'm not good enough. This ain't working. All that. Or I can choose to think on things that are lovely, to think on things that are noble, think on things that are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are good report, if there be any virtue. If I show up like that every day, I choose to do that every day. Can you imagine what you will begin to produce in your life on a consistent and daily basis? So I end with this. Who are you being? Who are you being? It will dictate how your life will produce the results that you desire to see. Guys, have a great rest of your day. Don't forget, tomorrow at 6 p.m., we are coming live with Coach Shay Alive. We have amazing Coach Debbie who will be my guest, and I'm so super excited. And I want you to be a part of it. It'll be right here in our community. Hopefully, StreamYard be acting right, or Facebook, or whoever. And so don't forget to join in. We'll remind you. God bless. Have a great rest of your day. See you soon.